At the extreme corner of the United States, a new 100-mile highway connects 25 islands from the Florida coast to Key West.
Suzie was incredible. Her work had so much integrity in it.
She was brilliant, absolutely brilliant in her understanding of art. And she had a knack for conveying amusing things with her design.
She had a very loose, she could do a couple of lines, she could do a figure, and that's always, it's so free, She was one heck of an artist.
She was born on a farm in upstate New York. Her father and her siblings would give her little scraps of paper. She spent a lot of time in the kitchen drawing. She wanted to draw from an early age. She grew up and it was World War II, and she joined the military with her sister.
After the war was over, they had the GI Bill, and so she went to Pratt. She had roommates, and one was from Key West.
Had been an old friend of my dad's, and he was a merchant marine, and he stopped in New York and came to see his friend and met my mom. They hit it off. Eventually they drove down to Key West, and they got a little house.
With 2 babies.
By then there were 2 babies.
She immediately was recognized as a very gifted artist. Key West Handprint Fabrics needed a textile designer. Here was my mother. Not only did she know textiles, she was here.
When Suzie came into business, that was a godsend.
She shifted from one kind of pattern to the next kind of pattern. Right behind her or beside her, she had books, and she would pull them out and look, and then just from sight, she would draw with her ink pen. It was amazing.
Key West in the 1960s was a really interesting place to be. There was a huge military contingency down here, so it was really ripe for businesses to open. Key West Handprint was started very early for a lot of Key West businesses. Jimmy Russell and Peter Pell, who were both from New York and had worked in theater, came down to visit.
They came down to Key West and fell in love with it and decided that they were going to open up this shop.
At that time they were in a place called Harbor House over on Front Street.
It was an old brick building, kind of New Orleans style with black wrought iron. And that's where they had their first little shop, and I believe that was in '62. And with the connection of Lilly, Pulitzer, and Handprint, and the orders that she was putting in, they needed to expand.
Key West Handprint became one of the major global brands for Key West.
And with Lilly's idea, Peter's coloring, and Suzie, that was the trio that made it successful.
We had a window in the back of the store, and you could look through to the printers. You could see them printing. So to visit the store was a delight.
Everybody loved Key West Handprint fabrics. It was one of Key West's main attractions. It was part of the colors and the atmosphere of Key West.
Every woman can wear it. There's nothing angry in the prints. There's nothing glary or anything. It's just happy.
She was constantly creating. I just thought everybody's mother did that.
For me, as a daughter, who always appreciated her art, I thought she made beautiful things. And I'm so glad that's not lost, and I'm so grateful